As AI models are trained on large data sets, are the jinn that attach to human also trained on that person's life in order to deceive them further?
The jinn attached to the data sets, yeah, the data is everything is them. They are the data, they are the carriers of data, they are the technologies. We gave all these different talks that when you pick up your phone and you think you're calling India and it's taking your voice and now your image to India, do you really believe that that company made that device? And that's when we talked about, look at their chip. Their chip is so small, they say that the chip now is less than the hair of a human, but with hands this big, how could you make that? You can't. But how you can make that is if you had no mass. So when they have no mass, what happens if you have no mass? You can make anything infinitely bigger, you have no physical restraint. So you make everything big, you make it the way you want, and then you reduce it infinitely small, you have no mass. But when you have two fingers at this size, you can't make anything small. Allah limited you by your physicality. So their technology is not based on physical limitations of humans. As a result, as soon as you make the call, a jinn is sending the call. So he's mimicking your voice, mimicking your image and sending it into India and repeating your words and your image to that person. So yeah, they have all of it. So then they say, oh, all these carriers are actually data farming. Yeah, because that's all the jinn do, they just farm the data, they want the information, they want the voice, they want the images, they want the information, and their community is moving it around. Here's a file, here's a file, okay here's a file, here's a file for you, here's a file for you. So this is their world, their systems run hot, that's why they have to have the silica chips, and then we said before that's their existence. These big supercomputers and their computing systems are based on accommodating these jinn creatures and their homes where they reside. They reside within the silica and the silicone chip, silicone valley. Why? Because they're from the deserts, the silica. They're a silica creation, we are a carbon creation. And they'll be coming out with computing through crystals and through all these other different understandings. It's interesting because even they try to explain it with limited human understanding, where the guy is pretending now to talk like he knows aliens, but he doesn't know he's being fooled by the jinn. Says that their ships are created in a different reality and has a certain light, and then they make it to appear in this reality and has such beatific lights and this and this and this. So yeah, you're trying to make a scientific understanding. It's much easier to say, look, in their world they have vehicles like we have vehicles. They have vehicles that have not the same structure as us because they have no mass. If they bring their vehicle into this dimension, of course it's going to be ajib for us, because they are creatures that don't have mass. So they look at the seat for the driving of the ship as a little tiny midget seat, because they don't have a mass. They create something or project something to be an autopilot, and when they don't have a mass, everything is through their energy. The movement of every device is through their energy, because they're an energy being. They merely send the khatir, the thought, and the energy moves to the right and to the left. Allah created them with no mass. When we want to move, we have a mass. You have to move your right arm, you have to move your left arm to pick up your dinner. When Allah didn't create you with a mass, means you have the ability to move things with your energy. So of course their ships would be the same, they're not going to have a car like us. So when they bring their tech from their unseen realm that has no mass into our realm, is going to be completely different. And the lights that people see of their ships, and these are the jinn lights. If you see the jinns, they also have reflecting lights and illuminary lights, And that's why they come to fool people as if they're angels, and people say, "I see the angels in the sky." No, no, these are jinn you're seeing. There's not angels. Angels don't show themselves like that, you're not that level to see an angel like that. So their whole deception is now coming into this earth, where they're going to bring their technologies, their ships, their vehicles, and people astonished and trying to explain how it was created. Look, it's created from their realm, and their realm is not a realm based on mass. And when you don't have mass, it's the movement of energy, and that's in the equation E equals mc squared. If we lose our mass, we are also then more powerful than them, because we have energy and we have two lights, nur and nar. We have the reflective light and we have a source light which is the sun. So Allah made us more powerful, and that's why the one whom loses their mass, maut qabla al-maut, and then takes away in the path towards the heavens, means now he has the knowledge of the book. And the most powerful book is the Holy Qur'an in the heart of Prophet. That becomes now the two forces that will be upon the earth, that were at the time of Sayyidina Sulaiman that he was governing them. And Sayyidina Sulaiman asked, Ya Rabbi, don't make any other kingdom like this kingdom unless the end of the earth and end of the world. At the end of the world then that would return and these shaitans would return, and that what was going to happen upon this earth. There's the kingdom of the heavens that have access to the Kitabullah, which is the walking reality of Prophet, and then the kingdom that follow the Ifrit and Shayateen. And although they appear to be powerful and astonishing many people, but when Allah want to open the heavenly kingdom and the power of the kitab, power of ulum and knowledges, and it's nothing in comparison. But people have to have patience and disciplines and the practices in which to open these realities and at least be taught these realities. If you're not expecting anything like this, then good luck, that's going to take you by surprise, inshaAllah.